Hey, welcome. This is our Origins podcast. Don, are you excited about this one?
I am. Origins, what we started, our humble beginnings in life together.
How far back does this go, man? Because I didn't want to think about this too hard, but when did we first run into each other?
I remember actually the first time I heard about Matt Hedstrom. And it was because we were both dueling contractors at a commercial site. And I wondered who this guy is that's taking work from me and taking money and food out of my family's mouths. Just because I'm like, wait a minute, this is my gig. Like, I was supposed to be doing the work here. And then all of a sudden I get, well, Matt Hedstrom does this stuff. And I'm like, well, why does he get the easy, fun stuff? And I get the crappy, hard stuff. But we worked through it, and then I don't know. At some point, we ended up on a trip together, a building trip together somewhere, and I don't even know. I guess it would have been Honduras.
That was a game changer. A lot of bonds formed on those humanitarian trips, on those building trips, man, and just to be able to see you at work and skill sets that matched, and just coming together and being able to rock something out like that. Do you remember that site? There was another house we went to. And this is, again, of course, before we're together, and I was using my software to estimate repairs, and we kind of did a little challenge. You walked through the house and just started rattling off numbers. Remember that one?
It was an Asian-inspired house, and it was, man, I don't remember, but it was a real estate agent had given me the lead, and then also given you the lead. And again, we knew each other, but we didn't really know each other. And individually went out there, and I remember Aaron was this agent, and after I'd come back, I had come through like, hey, this is what this renovation budget's going to be on this house.
That was a big one too.
It was hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I remember him saying, Matt Hedstrom went out there too, and he came up. You guys were literally within like $200 of each other, and you were using software to do your takeoffs, and I'm just using my head. But that was kind of like the beginning of like, okay, he knows what he's talking about. I know what I'm talking about. And it allowed us to kind of have a little bit more commonality.
There was one more, if you remember, that this one was in Kenosha County, I believe. We weren't partners yet. We hadn't come together, but we met at this house and we did kind of the same rodeo, like, hey, let's partner up on this one.
Right.
And in that sense, that was a great one because it was like, hey, let's do this one together. Let's roll through quick and estimate repairs. We're just kind of sizing each other up still. Like, all right, is this guy legit? Sure. We got 1, 2, let's see if 3's the charm here. Right. And, what were we off? Like $50 or something like that?
It wasn't much. It wasn't much.
We held each other's number. We each came up with our own number and said, okay, all right, ready for the big reveal. And pow, it was like, okay, this is a match made in heaven. Right. So that is one thing that I have always admired and loved about working with you, being a partner all these years together of all the hard stuff, the easy stuff, making money, doing these trips around the world, helping other people out. You know your stuff. You're intelligent. Man, you got skills like it's hard to find in this world, man. I love working with you, man. We are incredible together. We do a great job. So
I appreciate that. I do. We all talk about like, if I could just find, another me in life. And I had a partnership for many years, 15, 16 years in construction. And it's, we did a lot of commercial residential work. And we also did, like, every now and then we would do, something in real estate. We'd buy a house, we'd fix it, that kind of thing. And 1 or 2 a year, nothing massive. And I always wanted to do that. But again, when you have partners, you both got to agree on stuff. Otherwise, you don't really do it. And long story short on that was we ended up separating. And that's when you approached me and said, hey, can we partner up together? And at that time, I didn't want to. I didn't want another partner in life. Not partner in life, partner in business. I have my wife. She's my partner in life.
You had to clarify that?
I did. Well, in today's world, you have to. So you're not my life partner. My wife is my life partner. You're my business partner. And at that time, it took a little bit to even even be okay with that. So I remember we did a couple houses together, and it was, as that worked, I mean, it flowed really well. We each had what we could bring to the table, like my skill set, your skill set. We each had the construction and contractor commonality, but then just like you're way better sitting at a computer, and you're way better at paperwork, and you're way better at, assembling and making sure that everything's ready to close on the house, either on the front end or the back end, and communicating with the title companies, and making sure that invoices are looked at and reviewed before they get sent over for a check for payment. That's not me at all. Like sitting in an office, I never even sat in an office for so many years. And because my skill set is on a job site with people and the contractors, and just running and scheduling them things. And so when we put both of us together in that, it really did make for a fast and efficient flip. And I remember that first flip we did in Pleasant Prairie together. And you were like, dude, he's like, you were just like, because it was just rocking. I mean, we did a full complete flip in, less than a month's time, and it was ready on the market again. So it was, a different way of doing things, I think, for each of us. And I think that just worked out really well. So again, I love your heart for people, and, again, doing the trips that we do, and also just locally, you're rubbing off on me. I was the kind of guy that, business is business kind of thing. And you'd have this heart, and you'd be like, oh, I got this person, we got to help her out. It's a single mom. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And now here I am sitting in an office and helping people out that really do need help, and that doesn't logically make sense. Like, we shouldn't be helping these people, but the heart goes into it. And
it costs you money.
It does so many times. And whether it's with the contractors, whether it's with homeowners, you still go back and you want to help people. And I think that's what makes us the team that we are. And I think ultimately it's what gives us the success that we have in business, is just by having that heart, and people know that about us. Hopefully people don't take advantage of us.
No. And if they do, hey man, so be it. That's just the way we like it. Right. But no, I do treasure the fact that we have always put God first in this business. That has always been a priority. That has always been on the forefront, and we have honored that. And I believe that we've been successful because, but man, it comes with bumps and scrapes and bruises, right? Tears. We've gone through some hard stuff together as well. I love the fact that we shoot from the hip, man, and we're really good at it. So we get dangerous together. That comes out in business. That comes out with the tolerance of risk that we are willing to take that most others are not. And I actually love, that is one of the parts I love the most about doing this together, because I used to coach contractors and other business professionals for years and just say, look, partnerships are something that never, ever last. It will never last a lifetime. And unfortunately, most of the time, almost every time, partnerships end ugly. They end very badly. We do really well together. We know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and I love that we are willing to take risks. We're both yes men. We both are willing to jump out and just say, yeah, man, let's see if it works, which is why we buy houses that we never have stepped foot in sometimes. We don't exactly run the numbers that we're supposed to sometimes before deciding to jump into a sheriff's sale and quick bid. And then Don goes over what we've decided as our maximum allowable offer. Has that ever happened, Don?
All the time, man. All the time. Again, you get the emotional side of things coming out. So, but that's what makes this work, honestly, is, again, you jump out the airplane, you pack the parachute on the way down. And sometimes that's the only way some of these projects can work. If you overanalyze, if you take time to analyze a property in some capacity, you're going to lose it. And in today's market, you know how many people are offering on houses, how many people are negotiating on the same property. If we take time to think too much, you're going to miss it. Now, I would never tell anybody that's new into this business to do that, and even seasoned veterans. It makes it work for us. And that's something that together, I'm willing to do more difficult deals. I'm willing to put and take bigger risks and chances with you than what I would without you. And I think that, again, that shows there's strength in numbers. And it's not just because you're there to soften a blow, as there's two of us to, soften that.
100%,
it's just a matter of, again, I know that I have your full support in our business and what we do. If I take a house down, you're not going to sit and question me. You're just going to come to the solution. If there's a problem in the house, you're not going to, Don, why did you buy this? Or why did you decide to do it this way? You're only looking at it from the solution and moving forward. That's the right way to do it. Because we're both grown adult men, and if we screw something up, we know we screwed it up, and we're going to be harder on ourselves than what either of us could be for on each other. So rather than harp on that, it's just, hey, let's move forward. When you hired asphalt contractors, and it's out well.
Hey, it actually it looks. I'm actually more confident now. It looks great compared to what it did, and it's grown on me. So, all right, we'll talk about that some other time. But that is good stuff. I want to hit what you said. I love this. I think you didn't say these words, but this is what it is. I'll put it in my own words. There's a confidence I have knowing that you're with me. I would never have done some of these things or taken down some of these deals or gone as far as I did without that confidence boost. And just knowing that you're in my court. Now, whether or not you're an expert in that, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that you're with me and I feel stronger. I feel more capable. I just have more confidence in doing these things. And that means a lot. There's a story behind every deal that we do. And I love it. And I think we actually look for that. We truly do live by our core values that we set up, and our value statement, our mission statement that we've set up is that we are solving real estate problems for people experiencing hardship. And I think I love that more than anything about this business, is that the work's the work, right? The hard closings are the hard closings, the disruptions with financing and inspections and all of that stuff comes with it. But at the end of the day, we helped somebody out of a very difficult situation. And we also brought somebody into a new situation that got recreated, and there's a redo, with this house. I love that part about this. And it started with the trips that we did together and serving other people, and it carried right into this business.
All right. So we're talking about origins. Someone asked me a couple of weeks ago, actually it was on a radio show. So I did a live radio show here locally. I don't know, a few weeks ago that Matt, you signed me up for. They asked on the show, where did SoPro, where did it come from? And I gave my answer, but I want to know if you remember, where do you remember that coming from?
So I remember being on a trip. I think this was for a very popular brand. It was on a trip. And I had mentioned something like, I don't know where it came, but we just said, oh man, that's SoPro. That is SoPro. And we just kept saying that over and over. But how close am I to what you remember?
Yeah, no, we were on a trip. We were in the Bahamas. We were on that trip, and I don't remember what happened, but SoPro was thrown out there, and we kept using it all throughout that trip.
The whole trip, yeah.
And I had said, that'd make a great business name. We're SoPro. Yeah, we're still pro at whatever we do, whether we're building something for someone, whether we're negotiating a deal, whether we're flipping a house, whatever it's doing, we're so pro. We couldn't get, I don't remember, it was like SoPro show. We were trying all different spinoffs and stuff, and we're like, we're just two dudes out here, so it would be the SoPro Bros. And that was the start of this show. And we actually... Man, we had that name, that domain, and everything set up years ago, and we're just now getting started on our podcast. But this has been something that has been in the thought process, in our pathways, and we are building the SoPro Bros podcast room right here in our lower level of our office suite.
In the beginning, you were talking about bringing our strengths together, and, we both found each other by, matching, some skill sets, and then, also then discovering what our strengths, what are weaknesses, in a sense of, hey, what are you better at? What would you like to do? What makes you happy? What makes you tick? Right. And so I did bring a different spin to the business. And I love how it's kind of played out where, we've kind of settled into those roles years later, where you just do an incredible job of running these sites, working with all of the people that make these projects happen, all the vendors, suppliers, contractors, subcontractors, inspectors. And that is an entirely different world by itself. And man, I do spend most of my days now behind a screen, using software, using tons of different software, CRMs and lead management tools and everything that goes into acquisitions with lists and mailings and getting all these closings done. We can sign online notary documents from thousands of miles away. We can get closings done. We can do anything from across the world. And it works really well. And we've really settled into a great place where it still takes great trust, but we keep producing the same results, and we keep ending up with a lot of beautiful stories at the end of these things. So it's a great run, man, that I don't see an end to, but you know how life goes, man. We just keep swinging for the fences. And
I was talking to somebody just a few days ago, and they had reached out to me. And a high-level guy, but just kind of sick of the space that he's in. And like, how do you guys do your business? I see Matt's there, and you're always, going to Mexico or traveling all, different places. How do you run a business efficiently? That's something else I would say that you have done a good job of on the business side and the office side of things to be able to make that possible for us to go. When I leave, it's a little bit more complex just because I'm running guys. But again, we have great guys out in the field and that we rely and trust heavily on. They just need direction. They need help. They have questions. And I can still ultimately do that via, a Zoom or a phone call as well. So it allows and gives us the flexibility to run a business that we actually run, and the business doesn't run us. Before meeting you, I would be out with my tool pouches on and my tools still in my truck and actually working, like physically swinging a hammer each and every day.
You were every day, man.
It was hard. And that was a hard mindset to get out of and a hard, lifestyle to change.
Now that you say that, I remember getting you to come into an office was something that was so foreign to you because you never even did that at home. Getting you to actually sit at that desk, you're an incredibly intelligent person as well. And so I needed your input. I needed you to sit there and give feedback and add value to what we were trying to build on the front end. And so I knew if I could corral you into that space, I would get that creativity out of you. But man, that was painful, bro. I almost had to make you sell your truck just so you couldn't haul tools around and show up at job sites. Now you get to experience both sides. You get to go to the job site. You still know how to work all the tools better than anybody there. And you know what it's supposed to look like in the end. You can demonstrate it. You're not confined to that job site to say, in order for me to get paid this week, I have to finish installing these hardwood floors.
Oh, horrible. That'd be horrible.
Right. And you can't go back to that mentally. But the best part is, that you could, and I know that I could. I always used to ask this question, this is kind of a coaching thing. Like, you give this scenario where, look, man, if you were going to get booted out of your house this week and you literally had to make a mortgage payment in full by the end of the week, what is the first thing that comes to your mind that you would do in order for you to be able to make that payment, or your family is homeless, right? And the answer changes over time, because my answer used to be, well, I know who I can call and get a job from. They'll give me work anytime, and I can go swing a hammer, and I know I'll get paid this week for sure. But now, what does your mind say today? Like, of all,
there is no way. It's funny you say that, because that's exactly what my mind would have been before. Like, okay, I could just go pick up a job and do something. Like, it's easy. That wouldn't even be a thought in my mind right now. Like, it wouldn't. It'd be like, okay, what deal can I go do? Like, what house am I going to go get? Like, what door am I going to go knock on? And what conversation am I going to have to make a transaction happen?
Yes, you're thinking about, well, I could go do this deal. I could take down this, or I could whip this up quick. I could wholesale this. I could sell a rental. Right now, I go, well, you know what? I'll just call up one of our private money lenders and work out a deal with them on the back end. Just just do a quick creative deal and make them benefit on a current deal that we're doing if I had to come with that outlay. So I love that stuff, that space changes over time. We're not entirely completely comfortable. We still have to work. We love to work. We love to do what we do, and it drives us. And I don't think that I ever want to be out of that space where I'm not driven by the fact that, I need to work and I want to work. And in the end, we give all the glory to God for everything that we do. And if we stay in that space, I think success is always imminent.
Absolutely.
So, awesome. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed some of our foundations, how we got together. It was a long road. It was one of those things that just didn't happen to be. And it kind of took 2 lifetimes of experience. Our roads crossed, and I think this was meant to be, and it's been great, man. So here's to a great 2025. I think we're going to rock it. We're already we're on course for 5 closings already, and 1 this Friday.
Yeah. So the first month of the year, that's great considering, a lot of people had some bad times last year. We killed it. It was great. And we want that momentum to continue on through 25. So I think it's showing fit. So it should be good.
All right. Well, let's keep going. This has been our foundation story and in the SoPro Bros show.